valuable.
Just as organs. I mean, again, but human body is valuable, right?
Yeah.
And there's very little that's even more valuable than what happens during the birthing process, because that is life.
Yeah.
That is life, literally life coming into the physical realm, and that's why all that material is so valuable.
Yeah.
And now that we understand that, right?
Hello everyone, this is Zion with For Ever Youthful Studio. We are here today at the premier medical spa in Playa del Carmen, where we work with you to help you feel and look more beautiful. We help you look more beautiful by providing our medical treatments here that we have, whether if it's the CO2 fractional laser, whether if it's the body sculpting, whether if it's the body capitation, whether if it's facials, and then we help you feel better with the implementation of our stem cell and placenta treatments. So when you're in town, when you're in the Riviera Maya, particularly Playa del Carmen, please come down here to check us out. Again, it's For Ever Youthful Studio. You can also check us out on Instagram at For Ever Youthful Studio.
Understand that, right? So what we do with stem cells are we either inject them locally into your knees, into your elbows, maybe into your shoulder if you have specific areas of pain, or we do it intravenously, which then will address pretty much any other bloodborne condition that you would have. So people might be asking, okay, well, what do stem cells treat? Stem cells can treat a lot of different things. Really, you think of any autoimmune issue, so lupus, any type of bloodborne issues, diabetes, right? High blood pressure, high sugar. It's phenomenal for addressing diabetes. High inflammation, any type of sickness that you have that has inflammation. Cancer, whether if you're dealing with cancer, whether if you're recovering from chemo, if you have tumor growth, right? It affects that neurological. So it benefits neurologically. It benefits if you have conditions with your organs, your heart, your lungs, kidneys, irritable bowel syndrome, eczema. I mean, I can continue, right? There's a lot of things, and look,
that's amazing.
Hopefully your audience is listening, because a lot of these things I'm saying are known, particularly in our community, right?
Yes.
We suffer heavily from heart disease.
Yes.
We suffer heavily from diabetes, right? We suffer heavily from lupus. And we are spending so much money in pharmaceuticals, right? And we're still sick.
For just the treatment.
We're still sick. We're not getting better. You're being treated. They're minimizing the pain.
And you can get worse.
And amongst other things, right? So that's really why I wanted to sit down and talk with you today, because I know your audience is the audience that I really want to reach out to, because I feel that our community does not have access to this knowledge, does not have access to this information. We think, oh, that's not for us, or we think that's too expensive. Right, and so I want your audience to see that we're sitting here in Mexico, knowing that we have access to this, where people can come in now, can sit down, get an appointment with our medical professional, get questions answered. People can even reach out to me. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you about stem cells all day. And I want our people particularly to feel comfortable with this conversation.
And the thing is, like, guys, I literally watched his journey personally with his, like, he has a whole story within himself where he used his own, stem cells to give. Like, if you could just tell us a little of your journey.
Sure.
And because I follow him on social media. And so I saw when it started, and I was just looking at him. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, wow. And it's crazy because beforehand, I spoke to you, and you were telling me about the clinic that you were starting, and all of that. And then
I needed it.
You needed it. So let's
So what she's talking about, and all this is on my Instagram page, Zion Energy. And so maybe about a year ago, I woke up one morning. No, actually it was Sunday night, and I was out dancing bachata. And half my face my tongue was numb. And I was like, oh, I thought I ate something, or I thought I had an allergic reaction. And so I was like, okay, I'm fine. I never get sick. And so I went to bed normal, and I woke up the next morning, and I looked myself in the face, and half of my face was numb. And honestly, I thought I had a stroke. That was the first thing I thought was, oh my God, I had a stroke. My heart started racing. right? I started getting my passport, getting my stuff.
Right.
I'm getting ready to go to the doc. I'm like, wait. So I was like, okay, let me calm down. So I text Isabella, my medical partner. I said, hey, Isabella, I video called her. I wanted her to see. I wanted her to see my condition. And so I was like, hey, look at me. Did I just have a stroke? And she walked me through the protocols. And so she's like, okay, you can relax. You did not have a stroke. She said, let me come over, let me give you an analysis. So she came over, gave me an analysis, checked my blood pressure, gave me a basic analysis. And she's like, yeah, I think you have a condition that you need stem cells for. Lo and behold, it was Bell's palsy. And for those of you who know what Bell's palsy is, and that's when one half of your face literally goes numb. Yeah. And so what I did was I knew I was going to get better because when I was talking to Isabella, she's like, this is perfect for stem cells because what it really is, it's an inflammation sickness, right? So I had high inflammation areas in my face. Yeah. So I started recording my journey. And from day one, I was like, so I couldn't talk properly. And every day I documented my progress. And after 7 days, you could clearly see the benefit, right? And so I did it for myself. I did it for people who might also come down with Bell's palsy to wonder if it could work. And I'm glad I did because I look healthy and people are like, oh, what do you need it for? But everyone can get sick, right? It can happen to anyone. So it was just a great example of how I was able to really show the benefits of stem cells from a personal standpoint.
Yeah. And just from me, like just watching your journey, it had an effect on just me seeing your journey. And I'm like, wow, these stem cells, they really work. I mean, because, there's one thing when somebody is talking to you and telling you about it, and they're like, oh yeah, you should try the stem cells. And it's like, okay, cool. But to actually see somebody's whole journey and then quickly, like, you bounce back pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
You bounce back quick.
Yeah, sometimes that lasts like
just
months.
To see that, and I'm like, okay, this is actually healing to the body. This is not just a treatment to say, okay,
Make
it's
you feel
coming
a little
back.
bit better.
It was transformation. It was most definitely transformation. So this is why I'm here with Zion, because I actually seen it for myself, and I'm very interested. We have a lot of people in our families that have different things, especially in the States, where they're going through different, disorders where we think that it's just going to be treated, but you can't be healed from it. But here you can see, okay, you can actually be healed from a lot of things that we think that can't be healed from. So I think that is amazing. And just for more people to come out here to get your treatments, And the thing is, the cost, guys, come on now. Like what we spend in America just to be in an ambulance or like, you know what I'm saying?
Literally.
Or just be in a hospital bed for one day. Can it be a whole treatment here?
It might even cover your flight.
It might even cover your flight, exactly. That part. So it's so worth it. It's so worth it, and it's valuable, and it's also changing generational curses, on how we think, and saying that, okay, different things pass down, that you can end that generational curse, and that's what I'm working on. You see so many past family members that passed away from things treatable conditions, and it might be even stress or something like that that's just knocking it even harder. But coming here to actually get treatment on it, and that you can reset your whole body, and you could get those natural vibrations to reset your whole body and be healed.
One thing I also wanted to talk about is, I know some people have questions about, it's Mexico.
Yeah, it's Mexico. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what does that mean? Is what kind of policies and what kind of regulations? And so I wanted to address that. So so everyone knows the clinic that we use is in Mexico. It's in Guadalajara. Our clinic has been studying stem cells for 16 years. Okay.
Wow.
Mexico was one of the first nations to legalize medical stem cell research.
Wow.
Okay. In regards to medical research of stem cells, Mexico is at least a decade ahead of the United States. flat out. The United States is behind on this. Colombia is ahead of the United States. Mexico is ahead of the United States.
Wow.
Panama is ahead of the United States. Turkey's ahead of Dubai. So this is not a area where the United States is anywhere near the leader, right?
Yeah.
So I think we need to we need to keep that in mind. Also, Mexico does have COFEPRIS, which is similar to the FDA, which there is, it's highly regulated. There's a lot of very stringent protocols that are put into place. Again, this is not new. It might be new to some people learning, but in Mexico, this is not new. They've been at this for over 15 years, right? So the processes, the protocols, the quality is extremely high here. So not only are you able to get very high quality stem cells, but you're also able to get it at a very reasonable price.
That's amazing. That's amazing. If you can just give us, where can we find you?
Yes.
Where can we find Forever Youthful?
Yes.
Medical?
So Forever Youthful, we are here in the Mexican Riviera, which is pretty much the Quintana Roo, which includes Cancun, which includes Playa del Carmen, which includes Tulum as the major cities. We are in Playa del Carmen, which is right in the middle of Cancun and Tulum. We're about 45 minutes south of Cancun, about 45 minutes north of Tulum. We are located just outside of Central. The central area of Playa del Carmen, it's roughly 60 peso, which is a $2 taxi ride from downtown to here. We're located in what's called Edefo Terramar, which is basically, it's a medical building. There's a hospital downstairs, there's doctors here, so we're pretty much located in a medical building. We're on the second floor, and you can come here. We're right off the elevator, and you'll see it's a lovely location. It's spacious. It has
amazing.
It has good energies here,
Yeah.
and we do our best to really make you feel comfortable, to answer all of your questions, and ensure that this treatment process for you is one that is not only beneficial to your body but beneficial to your mind, and also keep in mind, this is a medical spa, so we have a lot of other treatments as well, right?
Can you talk about some of the services, the other services?
Sure. So the main services that people think about medical spas, we have that, which are the Botox, the lip filler, all of that, right? But we also have treatments we have multiple facials, different types of facial treatments. We have treatments that activate your collagen, right? We have treatments that are body sculpting treatments that can firm your hips, can reduce your abs. We also have treatments that help reduce cellulites. We have hair removal. We have the CO2 Fractional Laser, which is a great treatment for wrinkles, right? And so what we like to say here is that we help you look more beautiful and feel stronger, right? You're feeling stronger because you're healthier, because you're able to treat the condition, and then you're also gonna look and feel better because you're looking in the mirror, you're gonna look more beautiful, you're gonna feel more beautiful, and you're gonna feel stronger.
That's amazing. And can you also talk about your clientele? Because, as women, we automatically, that's something we're attracted to, but what's your, your audience?
Yeah, well, it is probably 80% women at least. And I would say a lot of our clientele are Mexicans. We do a lot of, we're in Mexico. All of my staff are Mexicans, and I want to service the community because we're a local business here, right? And so we definitely service the community. Interesting you say that in regards to stem cells. My clientele are probably, it's between Mexicans and Black women in regards to segments. So a lot of sisters here in Playa del Carmen have taken advantage of knowing me and being familiar with stem cells, and that really makes me feel good, right? Because our products, in the grand scheme, it's inexpensive, but in the small scheme, it's expensive, right? It's going to cost you a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 depending on your treatment. And the fact that so many Black women have felt comfortable with me and comfortable with my services to not only individually go, but then this is a small community down here, right? And so the fact that so many women
small community with a lot of women.
Yes, there's a lot of women, and so that so many women have spoken well about me, and about the services and about the results, which is the most important thing. Yes. Right.
Yes. Especially with women feeling comfortable enough to go. Now we need the brothers, and we need the men to actually, because I know that men are the least to even go get checked out and go to the hospital.
Yes.
You know, so getting more men, getting them more knowledge, you know, into health and wellness, and you know what they can do for longevity, for living.
Well, look, let me tell you. Look, we've talked about stem cells. We also have placenta, which we didn't really talk about a whole lot. Placenta. Look, I'll say this in regards to talking about men. Stem cells and placenta and the treatments that we have here can help you lose fat, gain muscle mass, regain your hair, strengthen your libido, make you feel more, feel younger, feel stronger, right? And that's at the end of the day, that's what we want. And also, I know one of the reasons, there's many reasons why men don't go to the doctors as much, but often we as human beings, you just don't want to go under the knife. Right? You don't want surgery. You don't want, well, depending on your condition, stem cells is a great option for you if you're one of those people that really rather not go under the knife and you want an alternative perspective. Stem cells is it, because it doesn't cure everything, but it can treat an awful lot of conditions that are specifically heavy in our community.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. So we are...
I'm going to say this because it's going to be edited.
Yeah.
I would say this. So there's one other secret that I'm going to reveal.
Okay.
That I'm not sure if you know. I know you don't know. And so look, as I've said, I've been interested in anti-aging for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit up here and say the only reason I look the way I do is because of stem cells. Right? There's a lot of work that I do. I go to sleep at a good hour. I don't drink a lot of alcohol. I have a strong mindset. You know, I exercise. I eat certain foods. So I have a lifestyle that is built for longevity and health and wellness. However, stem cells has definitely helped me maintain my appearance and maintain my vigor. And so one of the reasons also Cece and I are talking today is potentially looking at hosting a birthday party. And the reason I'm looking at hosting a birthday party because I'm going to be celebrating my 50th birthday party.
Woo! Look at him. He looks like he's 30. Let me tell you something. Come on, Black, don't crack. I love it.
Yeah. So,
yes.
So
wow.
I mean, look,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's
awesome.
you know, I don't brag with that because I think that's. But again, at the end of the day, it's good for people to know that, you know, stem cells. There's two levels of stem cells in stem cell treatment. The first level is to get you healthy. Right. The first level is to treat your sickness, to treat your condition, get you to a level state. Right. Then once you get to that level state, then you can get on working on the anti-aging. And fortunately, that's where I'm at. Right. So now the stem cell treatments that I get, they're not really there to. There's no fire. So what they're doing is they're rebuilding my tissues, they're rebuilding my organs. So now it's preventative maintenance for me, right? And so that's why now I think I've been able to slow my aging down, is because I do get high on my own supply. I do take stem cells. I do take stem cells, and so that's definitely led to me continuing to have a youthful appearance.
Awesome. That's amazing. So follow us again. We are High Vibes Global at High Vibes Playa on Instagram, High Vibes Playa on Facebook, as well as www.highvibesglobal.com.
And you can find me on Instagram on Zion_energy. That's ZION_energy. And that's the main way you can get in contact with me. The spa is the Forever Youthful Studio. You can find us on Instagram at Forever Youthful Studio.
There we go.